Greetings, and welcome to All Your Cricket. The final scoreline 2-2 as India, a miraculous comeback to beat England. Mohammed Siraj did his thing in the absence of Jasprit Bumrah. Just an exciting test series. This test series had everything. Scores India 224, Nair 57, Atkinson 5 for 33, and 396. Jaiswal getting a brilliant 100. This guy is a superstar of the modern game. Josh Tongue getting 5 for 12, beat England 247. Crawley getting 64. A good end to the series for Crawley, who was beginning to come under some amount of pressure. Harry Brook, 53. Prasidh Krishna, 4 for 62. Mohammed Siraj, 4 for 84. And England, 367. Chasing a small matter of 373 runs. Were well poised, well on top to get the score until Mohammed Siraj responded. Harry Brook, 111. Joe Root, who is really tracking down Sachin Tendulkar for the highest run scorer in Test history, 105. Duckett, 54. Prasidh, 4 for 26. And Siraj, 5 for 104. Samir Malik, what a Test series. We could have more of this in Test cricket.
Epic, Roger. Epic, amazing, thrilling. This is what Test cricket is all about. Remember, before the World Test Championship, we said this was going to be a great summer of cricket. It's turned out to be an amazing summer of cricket, especially this series. This series has had everything in there. And I got to admit, I didn't think that India was going to draw this series. This is a victory for India. 2-2 is a victory score. Yesterday night, when Root and Harry Brook were going very easy, getting to 300 plus, and they still had 7 wickets intact. Obviously, at that point, we knew Woakes wouldn't come into bat because they didn't really need him to. So 6 wickets intact, and then all of a sudden, the game just changed. And the guy, who's been in and out of this squad, especially the Indian squad, he doesn't get selected all the time, is Mohammed Siraj. Sometimes he gets selected, sometimes he doesn't get selected. Guess what? When he does get selected, and for some reason, when Jasprit Bumrah, the GOAT of the current era, doesn't play, somehow this guy just gets a lot of wickets. I don't know what the reason is, but he gets a lot of wickets whenever Jasprit Bumrah is not playing.
So, Samir, the talk of the town is whenever Bumrah does not. India won 2 games this series, and both games where Bumrah has rested. Now, he is definitely India's finest bowler, and perhaps will go down. Some have said the greatest fast bowler, all format of all time. Maybe a little bit too early to bestow such a crown upon Jasprit Bumrah. But how do you respond to that?
Hey, listen, so once again, 2 different bowlers. Bumrah has issues for sure. He has health issues. Test cricket is something which requires your body to be 100% fit all the time. And even when you're 100% fit, you can get injured. You've seen that happen to players all the time. So I think, listen, Bumrah, to be honest, I think India might be now leaning towards playing Bumrah in short test series or even exclusively in the white ball formats. That is a huge possibility that might come down the road. So it is very possible that you might only see Bumrah in T20s and ODIs. But at the same time, you got to give credit where credit is due. And Mohammed Siraj with 23 wickets and the runs that were scored in the series. Remember, this was a lot of runs scored in the series. Siraj took a lot of wickets. I think he bowled probably the most deliveries in this series of any bowler. I think he bowled 185 overs. The only other bowler who came even close in the series was Woakes with 181. And guess what? You see almost losing his shoulder, right? That's how it works. So this guy's done extremely well. He was definitely, the workhorse of this Indian bowling lineup in this series. He played all 5 games. He balled in 9 innings and he took 23 wickets. And I think he deserved every one of those wickets.
When Bethel was dismissed, England were only 42 runs away. Could you have guessed, Samir, in under any
No,
circumstances that
no,
India could have really come back and drawn this series? But and
no. No, no, I didn't. To be honest, this morning I was up at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the US. I was watching every delivery. I watched every one of those 53 deliveries that were balled this morning. And delivery number one, I think, went for four. Delivery number two went for four. And then England only needed 27 runs with 4 wickets in hand. And everybody thought England was winning. And then Mohammed Siraj showed up.
what's your moment of the series?
I think the moment of the series is literally this morning. I think that Jamie Smith wicket from Mohammed Siraj, I think it was the fourth ball of his over where he balled 3 balls consistently outside the off stump. And then that fourth ball, Jamie Smith swung for it because he was trying to finish this match quickly. Because remember, it was the 78th over of this ball and it was swinging very well. And Jamie Smith must be thinking they're going to take the new ball on the 81st over. So I might as well complete this game very quickly. And as soon as he nicked that, that is when India knew that India had a chance. I think
My
that's the
moment,
moment of the series. Because remember, it's the difference between 3-1 and 2-2. And
right?
remember, Jamie Smith began this series in amazing form. And if you look at it, Jamie Smith went downhill from his first test match to his fifth test match. So India figured him out.
Yeah. Um, my moment of the series has to be 400 and something runs in one game by Shubman Gill. Monumental
400 runs, exactly 400, right?
a performance which showed that Shubman Gill came of age. An outstanding player, one with a tremendous future. For me, that is the moment of the series. Definitely, Shubman
Yeah,
Gill.
but Roger, you have to remember it was the tale of two different series. That's what it was. There was the time where Bazball was excelling and England was winning. There was a time when England put Bazball on the bench and England still won a game. And then there
Mm.
was India that was winning without their best fast bowler. And I really do believe the reason why I said that Jamie Smith wicket from this morning is the moment of the series. Because remember the way Jamie Smith started this series, right? 40 runs in the first innings, 44 in the second innings of the first test match. England goes on to chase 375, right? Guess what they were chasing today? 374. Jamie Smith fails. They don't get to that 374 target today. They're shot by 6. Then remember, in the second test, he scored 184 and 88. Miraculous knocks. But then since the third test, Jamie Smith had scores of 51, 8, 9, 8, and 2. So he basically fell off a cliff. And to be honest, I know that Shubnam Gill did extremely well in that second game, right? But if you look at Shubnam Gill and you take out that second test match and you look at his runs scored, once again, I think, if Shubnam Gill scores more runs in the third test and the fifth test, I think India is winning both those games too.
Yeah. Joe Root, another test 100. I mean, there aren't words to describe what we're seeing from Joe Root at this point. I mean, this guy is just tremendous, Samir. Just tremendous what Joe Root is doing. Definitely going down as one of the all-time greats of this game.
Roger, so if Shubnam Gill doesn't score 754 runs in this 5-match series, Joe Root just scored 537, and nobody's even mentioning him, right? That's what it is. He scored 537 runs in a 5-test series over a span of 9 innings in this series. Okay, he averaged. If you look at the stats, he averaged 67 with 300s and 150. His conversion rate is unbelievable. He just added 300s in a very, very tough series, right? And guess what? I think he could have scored even more runs, if the conditions permitted him to. So I think Joe Root's unbelievable. He's already second on the list. You know how I feel about Joe Root. I think he's gonna. If if he stays healthy, which it looks like he will, and he's going to get ample opportunities because England is going to play a lot of test matches over the next couple of years, I do believe that he's going to get close to Sachin Tendulkar's 15,921 runs.
Well, I do. For me, Samir, 2-2, a fitting end to what's been a brilliant series. I think both teams obviously have had their moments. We've seen these games just sort of go back and forth all summer. 2-2, I think, is very, very appropriate for this series. What are your final thoughts on Tendulkar? What is it? Tendulkar Anderson.
Anderson Tendulkar.
Anderson.
Amazing, amazing series. You know, I think, you know, the key to the series turning, remember, England was up 2-1 after the third test, and they were very close to winning the fourth test, which was a draw at the end of the day. Remember, tempers flayed right there. And now the fifth test, where England was again in the lead, you know, needing 60 odd runs with 7 wickets in hand, and somehow, you know, they weren't able to complete the job. So in Test cricket, Roger, I have to mention this again and again. It's so difficult to chase 300 plus runs, especially on the fourth and the fifth day. It is not easy at all. And for some reason, England's been doing this again and again. Every year we see England somehow chasing 350, 370, 400 runs. I'm going to tell you right now, these are special moments, and fans should absolutely savor these moments because it doesn't happen again and again. And you saw it again over the last day and a half. An unbelievable, sublime knock by Harry Brook. Amazing knock by Root. Both of them scored hundreds. And guess what? They were still short 6 runs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Top stuff, top stuff, and we hope to see more of this. Up next, in terms of a big marquee series this year, we have Ashes cricket, Samir, and that is going to be tremendous. All right, guys, that's
Absolutely.
it.
Looking forward to every game for the rest of the year.
Anderson Tendulkar, 2-2. See you next time.